Welcome to Vaudeville Press. Creativity Talking, episode 130. With your host, V, and his brother from another mother, Mr. Robert Armstrong. What's up, dude?
That's me.
There's two people getting in trouble.
That's what we do best, right?
Absolutely. So what's happening, man?
Not too mucking fudge.
Yeah.
Just chilling like a villain.
How's your new year?
It was spectacular. We
were
went down
talking
to Punta Cana. First time we took the kids down there, or the first time the kids went down there, with the exception of one of my stepsons. He just could not make it for unforeseen circumstances. But my other stepson and my stepdaughter and her boyfriend, they came down. So it was the five of us. Had a great time, bringing a new year with about 2,500 other people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how was it down there? So, yeah, Jason was like, dude, what? Rob's gone down to Donald. I'm like, well, he's married to someone who planned.
That's a vague question. What do you mean? How is it down there? Weather-wise or wise?
Okay, so you and me and Jason, we all live together in South Florida.
Right.
How, like, is it straight across? Is it, basically same thing except you're on an island? Temperature-wise?
This time of year wasn't too bad. The humidity was perfect. It was breezy at times, but it wasn't too bad. We went to the beach. Well, went to, aside from the beach at the resort, we had gone to another resort not too far away, and it was kind of windy when we had dinner, but other than that, because we're sitting outside on the beach, they have table setups and stuff like that.
But it's the same climate as Fort Lauderdale, Miami-ish?
It is, but it isn't. The summertime, it gets to be 90, 95, and the humidity is 100%. But it seems like when you're in Florida, if it's 85, the humidity is still 100%.
Yeah.
When it's 85, 70 down there, there's really not much humidity, which is great.
Do they have the palmetto bugs?
We actually did. So, or they do, but they're not. I don't think that it would be considered an infestation. They do have them, but they're not everywhere. Every time you pull up your bathroom mat or something like that, there's not 5 of them scurrying. Or
there's not too many places for them to hide since they're on an
right.
island.
Yeah, there you go.
They're contained.
Yeah, a lot of times when I was living in Oklahoma, or even in Florida for that matter, you turn on the light and 5 of them scattering. No, it's not like that down there.
No,
so you'll see them every once in a while, but they're not too bad.
Gotcha.
Plenty of spiders and tarantulas down there to take care of them.
Yeah. And how's their cell phone? I see you took a picture here. You're on the local network.
Yeah,
that's another one of my favorite pictures.
The ocean was calling. I had to answer.
Right. If you listen to the ocean closely, you can hear a shell. But nice. So how long is a flight is it from New York?
About 3.5 hours. No, and that's a direct flight. When we were coming back, we almost had to fly to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and then fly from there. And it was going to be an additional 2 hours, 3 hours because of the layover and then flight time.
Now, where you're at, is it totally infested by tourists, or is it still?
The funny thing is where we stayed at the Grand Palladium. There's 3 campuses of the Grand Palladium. One's called Punta Cana. The other one's called the Palace, and there's another one, but I forget what it's called. But they're kind of located right next seated right next to each other, and they have all these other pools. And the stage for New Year's Eve was for everybody. So I was told that the hotel was totally booked, but when I saw New Year's Eve, it looked like it could have been fully booked. But when you go to the restaurants, when you go to the buffets and stuff like that, or even the pool for that matter, really wasn't packed of too many people. We were able to find lounge chairs by the pool and able to sit out and get some color.
Nice.
Yep.
No, and how long were you? Now, you said you stayed at a resort versus, was it just too far from where you were at, or just the hassle of not having everyone at your place because you're still setting it up?
Not a hassle. Well, the kids actually wanted.
I don't mean hassle in a bad way. It's just there's a lot. Everyone knows there's a lot going on if you have like 10 people staying at your house.
Of course, but there's whatchamacallit, it was one of those things. My stepdaughter's boyfriend had never been there before, so they wanted to spend a couple of days at the resort. And my other stepson that didn't make it with his fiance, they wanted to stay at the resort as well. And my stepson that went down with us, that was solo, he wanted to stay with us.
Yeah.
And and just get to know Punta Cana and drive around and see what the village was like and see what how the environment is.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not really a city. It's actually quite small, but the resort area is quite extensive, but the actual village of Punta Cana is quite small.
Gotcha.
But he just wanted to stay with us and do some sightseeing.
Yeah.
Not so much resort scene, but.
Well, cool. Jason is absolutely jealous.
Of course.
But I also told him you guys had a family situation that you had to deal with as well. So
yeah.
But so the New Year's here. So you and I had talked. Oh, hold on.
Cheers.
Hold on, I have to get my other coffee mug. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Clink.
Clink.
Hogan. So we had tried this last year, the 10% off, or at least we came up with it, and we were trying to do it for a while.
Yeah.
So me and Robert talking, we're getting older, and plus with the thing that's going around, losing weight at our age as a male, or any age really, is a good thing. Health positive, right? So so we're doing this thing, 10% off your body weight or 20 pounds. Go to your doctor if you have one. Most guys don't, so don't ask us. We're not doctors. We're just gonna chisel away at, hey, here's some good things that worked for me or worked for Rob.
Right.
Small stuff. We're not looking to change everybody's life, but
actually, the reasons why we're doing it too.
Yeah, and it's also shit giving rights, but it's not to make people feel bad.
Oh, we're not.
It's to support.
I might as well bow out now.
It's to support. Oh, I just shaved. You'd never know it, but boy, does it feel good. Kidding. I thought of that at the 7-Eleven parking lot when you said, "Oh, I got to shave."
And I didn't.
Yeah, me neither. Well, I took the stash off.
Oh yeah, I was like, something's different. Something's different.
I braided my armpit hair.
It's the glasses.
Yeah, those two. But it helped me see. It's weird. They're not like the ones that make the whole world darker.
A rose colored.
Yeah. Right. So so we want to talk about the 10% off, and of course, let us give a moment and hail the best fucking show on TV right now.
Nice.
Yellowstone.
It really is.
Dude. Great. And I was one of those people. I'm not watching that fucking show. A lot
of people can't stand Kevin Costner.
I like Kevin.
Yes,
I love Waterworld. I love The Postman. I watched The Waterworld. I don't know how many fucking times.
Yeah.
But and then also I was a special effects guy and wound up being in the Universal Studios commercial as a smoker. Basically, I had dreads and I was on the boat with the bald character played by what's his name? Can't even think anymore.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was on the villain's boat, who was not the actual villain from the movie, but yeah. So that's why. Anyway, so I like Kevin Costner. I never had a problem with him.
Right. So do I. Field of Dreams.
Yeah, Field of Dreams, great movie. I'm not a baseball guy, but that was a great fucking movie.
It really is. I'm not a baseball guy either.
Yeah, and and the guy who basically just who created Yellowstone television show, he quit acting to become a writer, and he was on one of the biggest fucking shows of its time. He was on Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he played
That was a good show.
Yeah, he played the cop who got run over. But yeah, so Taylor Sheridan, I mean, everything this guy touches now, he's doing apparently now he's doing a new mob drama with Sylvester Stallone. He's doing Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
Got 1883.
Yeah.
And he's got the 4 6s coming out, which is another spinoff of Yellowstone. Yep. And he does the Mayor of Kingstown.
Nice.
And he's writing a lot of this. So he's really heavily involved. He also wrote what was that movie called? Sicario?
Oh, yeah. With Del Toro on directing.
Benicio Del Toro was the star, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. But yeah, this guy's a powerhouse, man.
Yeah, Sicario, I remember that.
And the writing for the show is fucking great. I mean, there's 2 characters that we should both hate, but everyone fucking loves these people. Who are you more afraid of?
Yeah. Now she's got a pretty extensive resume too.
Yeah. She's English.
Right. And she was in one of those medieval series, ended up getting killed off on the last episode. So I'm like, I would just get into the episode, into the series. And I actually haven't seen.
Yeah, wasn't it like Celts or something or Vikings?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But then she was on a soap opera before that. Was it Young and the Restless or Guiding Light or something like that? I forget. But she was I couldn't stand her on the soap opera either. Not that I watch soap operas. My gram did.
Uh-huh.
And it was our bonding time.
Yeah, well, I used to watch
it's my story and I'm sticking to it.
I used to watch General Hospital for years, dude. I'm not ashamed. Yeah, there's some. I mean, really, if you were looking to like study like theater or trying to break into writing or stuff, soap operas are great.
Yeah,
because you had to do so much every day.
Sure.
And I'm glad I never worked on one because that to me that would be a nightmare.
Right.
Personally, but yeah, Kelly Riley plays Beth Dutton.
Yeah.
And she is
the show.
Oh my god. Yeah. So she was in Sherlock Holmes. She played Mary Morstead.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
She was in Flight, Eden Lake, Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 version. I mean, she's been around a while.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she's not
look at though. She looks quite young.
Oh yeah. And yeah. I would listen to whatever she said.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm actually more afraid of her character than fucking Cole Hauser's.
Yeah.
I'm like, Cole Hauser will kill you.
He's a badass, man.
Right, but Cole will just kill you. He'll just kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
But not her. No. She will kill you. Death by 1,000 fucking cuts, man.
I like how they started the series though, because she wasn't really afraid to show some skin, and I think that kind of like what drew everybody in. It's like, ooh, a
Well,
new
it's funny you
series.
say that because my buddy Paul, you know Paul,
Yeah,
you talked to him before, and then he
yeah,
was on last week.
yeah.
So we had this conversation like a month ago before I got into Yellowstone and watched fucking everything. He's like, yeah, there's this actress on that show, and he'd only watched a couple episodes as well. And it's like, oh, da 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 da. Okay, sex scene. I'm like, well, kind of in the maybe season one, like the first half. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't watch the end of season one, like the last half of it, because I had stopped watching it originally.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so there's a hole in the story for me. I don't know why the other son died or how he died. I don't know what happened.
The Indians killed him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
There was a standoff.
Now, was he an asshole, or is it a land thing, or was it a criminal?
It had to do with horses. You're taking me back a few years, but yeah, I know it had to do with horse thieving.
Oh,
I don't know if the Indians had stole the horses from his ranch or whose horses they actually were, but one of the Indians were killed, and so they shot him, or vice versa. I can't remember exactly the order, but yeah, it was actually the Indian girl that's married to the Dutton. I forget what her name is, but it was her brother that got killed, along with.
Oh, okay. Didn't her brother get killed first, and then that's kind of how it
I
all?
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, we're older. We didn't go back and watch season one. We're just trying to remember shit here.
That's right.
But yeah, what a great fucking show.
Yep. Definitely.
And I've never been to Montana, but now I want to go.
Yeah.
And now this guy has created a whole genre onto himself, and it made sense that he picked Kevin Costner for that.
Well, I like how they did the flashbacks with Kevin Costner's father and grandfather, and I think that's how they started the whole 1883.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll do Jason's watching that one too, so I'll do an 1883 at the end of that season. But that's how I started watching everything again, because I'm like, I already gave Yellowstone a chance.
Yeah.
I'll give 1883 a chance because Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Got high. Start watching it. Tim McGraw's a really good fucking actor, dude.
He is.
Like, I was surprised. I'm like, what? I'm like, why is he even singing?
Well, didn't you see him on whatchamacallit, the football movie with Julia Roberts? The Blind Side?
No, sports movies normally I don't watch. I knew he had acted in something with like goofy hair, like light brown hair or some shit or whatever, but I did not watch it. Now I've always been a fan of Faith Hill, but
go figure.
Yeah, and one thing I really like about her is she didn't go into the yeah. Well, I've always liked her singing, and she seems cool when she's interviewed anyway.
Yeah.
But I like that she didn't go to the run of the plastic surgeon's office.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What's with Faith Hill?" I'm like, "She's aging, isn't that great?"
Aging
seriously, I'm not. That's awesome. And she could kick ass just as much as anyone else.
Yeah.
But
gracefully.
Yeah, and her the daughter, what's her name, Ella May, in 1883. She's a really good actress too. I haven't seen her before. I think this is her first thing. The one who plays their daughter. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought I saw the name, but it's not ringing a bell right now.
Yeah,
not coming to me.
But that's pretty cool. I had worked on this. And this is like when I moved back to Chicago from LA. So this is like 2000. So these internet people had some money, and so this company I was working for, I kind of pitched my idea of a town and everything, and instead of going into a chat room, You could go into the town, go down the main street, go into the leather store, go into the music store, whatever it was, And so I made this whole backdrop story for this town.
Yeah.
And I went back like 300 years. And dude, the Bible was like this thick of information.
Wow.
And that was the most fun I think I've ever had on a bullshit job. Because that was, dude, it was so fun. I'm like, okay.
Well, because you're getting high all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going back 300 years. Leave me alone. Dude, I'm in the Mesozoic. You mind? But
Man,
I mean, like coming up with the story, like you're a writer, when you're whatever you're telling or laying out there, and then you put centuries on it, man, everything is just, it was just really cool.
Yeah.
So when 1883 came out, that's why I had to watch it, because I knew he had so much fun.
Oh yeah.
What happened 300 or 200 years ago?
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? And what I really like about him is he uses a lot of the same characters in all his stuff.
Oh yeah.
So there's a bunch of cops that are on here. The casino owner was I believe he was in Sicario and a few other of his programs. So he's been working with Taylor a while.
Is he an Indian?
What's that? He's Native American, you bastard. Jesus Christ.
Is he indigenous?
Yeah. He's a really good actor, man. He's intense.
Yeah.
But the character I like better is his right-hand man.
Okay.
He speaks volumes with silence. You know what I mean? Like what? Yeah. Like when he walked to, when he walked to the shed after, hey honey, love you. You got to see another side to him. Oh, that's cool. He's got a family. He walks to the shed and there's that guy fucking, But yeah. The representation is pretty good, and there's no me smoke 'em peace pipe.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like it seems to that shit's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just in the past year, well, there's another show that's on. There's this. We had Longmire. So now we're getting all this Native American representation. We have a Marvel superhero.
Yeah.
Zon's also in the MCU.
I saw that episode today.
Yeah.
With Zon.
Yeah, I think we'll see more of him moving forward, but it depends on how they weave the.
Yeah, just don't say anything.
No, I won't. I really liked the Marvel series. They're smaller in scope. They're not $400 million movies, man.
Yeah.
Everyone relax.
Right.
They're small TV shows. They're telling a story.
Yeah, they're not throwing everything at you.
Yeah, it's not about explosions and
right.
Slow-mo. Like they actually sit down and have a conversation, Like I'm really waiting for the first superhero to take a shit, reading the paper, having a conversation over. Once they get there, then they're kind of like, completely method. I don't know.
I can see the Hulk doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Or Deadpool.
Batman. Yeah. Oh, definitely Deadpool.
Yeah. Dead poop.
I think they already showed that.
Right. But Yellowstone, man, what a great show.
Yeah.
And the whole just the way that they string all, what does the guy own the entire fucking county or some shit?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, owning that much land is just obscene, as they say in the show.
Yeah. What, 8 million acres or something like that?
Yeah.
So,
holy shit. So yeah, for just $1.69 a day, you can adopt a Yellowstone viewer. According to Sally Struthers.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew that. I saw that coming a mile away.
You knew that was coming.
For the record, my wife said that, not me.
But to be fair, she does look like if Sally Struthers stopped drinking, put the fork down, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? She does look like a together version.
Right.
of Sally.
Together version. Yeah, you're right.
You know, maybe she's a variant.
Wow.
You know, but she does a great job. She comes in as a big swinging dick.
Yeah.
You know, dude, but Beth is evil. Evil. So, okay, so the story of Yellowstone, Kevin Costner, the Sutton family comes across in 1883. They get this land. They've had it in their family for generations. And of course, now there's corporate bullshit going on. And then you have, the casino,
Yeah.
you have tourism, you have politics. It's almost like it's the Sopranos, but in the mountains. I mean, that's basically.
Yeah. There you go.
It's crime family, and a lot of, out west, like if you own that much land, you are the law.
True.
I mean, basically, and a lot of people probably didn't even know that they had law officers for cattle.
Mm-hmm. Livestock.
I'm one of them. I'm like, no shit, really? Yeah. Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Want to meet a cow? But yeah. So I don't know. And then there's I think it started with the was it drugs that they were getting into? The brothers of each that were murdered. There was some type of criminal bullshit. Horse
thieving.
Horse thieving. But we also have these big people that are in part of the story that aren't there. It's the corporate takeover of nature.
Yeah.
So basically, it's an allegory of colonialism.
Yeah.
But the new white man is the corporation.
Right. Yep. The man.
Yeah. So they keep on, because if you keep on going, I roll my eyes at a lot of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They keep on bringing that up. It's like, oh, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you suffered, It's like, yeah, your blankets were made of real fucking wool, dude. And they didn't have a plague attached to them.
Nope.
But, I mean, are we going to have nature left anymore? You know what I mean? We're getting into a weird spot where people who were, quote, not enemies, but on opposite sides of policies or whatever, locally now have to band together to fight someone even bigger that they can't really win.
Yeah.
Against, even through court. Well, we'll just
that's the thing. The money rules the world.
Right. For sure.
So,
not
the politicians, not the world leaders. Money's the leader.
Right. Yeah, and it's a weird thing because we're witnessing the corporate takeover of the world.
Yep, absolutely.
It's not a lie. I was making a list of all the different ways I could say that. Corporate state, World War Inc., World War Corp. Oh, corporate takeover. That's pretty fucking straightforward. But
yeah, the United States isn't a country, it's a corporation.
Right. So then the brothers die end of season 1. We go to season 2. Now, how didn't Beth show up from out of town, if I remember correctly?
She may have. I don't remember.
She was working in the big tech or something, or in the big city, and then she came back.
Yeah,
I think after the brother died.
Yeah, that rings a bell that she was in the big city. She came back.
And Cole Hauser, let's talk about. He is a badass. He's always been an intense actor. I've always liked him. He did this movie. It's directed. I think it was directed by Mel Gibson. At least it was produced by Mel Gibson. Called Paparazzi.
I didn't see that one.
Where he played like a Mel type actor.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, had a certain level of fame, and the paparazzi were coming after and trying to get pictures of his kid, and then his family's getting threatened, and this, that, and the other. Yeah. And Cole Hauser. He's a badass in that movie,
Yeah.
And so I've always been waiting for some, they finally got something for him.
Yeah.
Because he was in a bunch of movies that he really didn't seem to fit, but he was good.
Right. Yeah.
But he was in a lot of stuff, and you're
Sure.
like, ooh, that's where he. And then you didn't see him for a long time. And then, that's basically between Kevin Costner and Cole Hauser. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot again. He's a badass, man.
Yeah.
And you can't look at a Dodge truck and not think Yellowstone. I can tell you that much.
That's true too.
Which is funny because the 4.6s, you can tell they're already hooked up with Ford.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I'm like, okay, this guy's really smart with his product placement. It makes it part of the show, like in a big way,
Yeah.
Because I can't even imagine what it would cost to run that shit on the daily.
Yeah, that's where the money comes from. Sponsorship.
But yeah, so then we move into so season 2. Now we start getting a breakdown of I never liked that character, the younger brother, not the brother who went to war. Let me look at fucking them, what their character names are. But the guy who winds up not being related by blood.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I don't like his character.
Yeah, I was going to say
meant to be that way.
Exactly. Just like I didn't like the Captain America.
Right. Wes Bentley.
Yeah.
Does such a good job of making you not like him.
Yeah.
While trying to be sincere. That's not the easiest thing.
Now, Rose is always like, how come Beth treats him so bad? And say, don't you remember that flashback when they were kids?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's the only reason? I'm like, that's the only reason? She
See,
can't.
now here's some, I can understand where she's coming from because as I was watching just in the last couple episodes of season 4 this week.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, okay, he took her to an abortion clinic.
Mm-hmm. A butcher.
And he didn't want to take the ride to go to the further city or whatever the hell it was or what,
Right. Didn't have the money.
Oh, well, they didn't want to ask her dad.
Right. That. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they had money, but they didn't have money.
Right.
So, then it was like in the second to the last episode, they mentioned that he gave her the abortion.
I didn't hear that part.
She's like, yeah, da-da-da-da, with his hanger.
Yeah.
I was like,
I did hear that part.
He gave her. I thought he just took her to the shittier clinic.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So then it was like at either the last of the second to last episode or
I remember that conversation. I missed that.
Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, well, that explains why she's pissed at him directly.
Sure.
Because if he actually did it,
right.
I mean, it's the difference between taking someone to the doctor's office and you're both 15 years old or whatever, and what are you gonna do? But that would, it made more sense story-wise. And I think maybe they didn't explain it well enough earlier.
Right. Yep. They didn't.
Because it just seemed like a throwaway line. And I'm like, hanger? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was right when, I think that might have been when I don't know if that's when Beth was giving him the 3 options. You've got 3 options. I don't remember if that was.
I think that was the episode before.
Yeah. But, look at this lovely Christian couple. Hanging in the outdoors.
The scenery is so beautiful.
Dude, it looks fucking way beautiful. If the winters weren't shitty, I'd be there,
Yeah, I know it.
But, man, what a great show.
Yep.
So, yeah, so, I know we're hopping around here, but, I went and I got some food for the 10% off thing.
Did you?
Yeah, I got some tuna. I got some sardines. I know you like sardines, Rob.
No.
Yeah, I was growing up. Sardines? Because we had 5 kids. There's never way there's no way 5 kids all got sardines, you know. So I'd be like, oh, they're all at school. And mom
My
would be like, "What's
grandfather used to eat
sardines? Oh,
those.
yeah."
He liked the mustard sauce, and he would eat it right out of the can. I'm just like, couldn't stand the smell, couldn't hear,
Yeah.
and
I had it right out of the can.
I'm just
But
like,
I only do I can't do it with any other. The flavors, the fish,
yeah.
you know. But yeah, so yeah, I got a bunch of shit for smoothies and got my apple cider vinegar and all that type of shit, you know.
Yep, I got the bottle.
Yeah. Oh, did you
With
go and get it?
mother.
Right.
And,
And then you know, got the bites.
oh yeah.
Can't reach the other ones, but yeah, you know, also doing you know, I'd switched off of white bread, so now I'm like, man, I love bread. And then so I'm reading the thing like, you can eat rye bread. I'm like, what?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know. And being a good, you know, I'm half Bohawk, so being a good Bohawk, you gotta like your rye bread.
That's right.
So yeah, so tuna fish sandwich today for dinner
Yeah.
on rye. You know, right?
I had no bread. We had turkey patties.
Nice.
Turkey patties with veggie tots.
And yesterday I had I made a big ass burger. Well, not a big ass, probably, I don't know, third pound burger on rye.
Now that's
No
bigger
cheese.
than a quarter pound, right? A third pound is bigger than a quarter pound.
Well, according to the math they've been teaching the people, there's no common core to it.
Because 4 is bigger than 3.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the angle. This one's got corners. This one's round. But yeah, Kevin Costner, I mean, he must fucking love this role.
Well, I see a little like sidelines on like social media where Kevin Costner's not going to be doing this, and they kicked him off the set, and he's not going. to I'm like, what? So, I that's all clickbait. I don't take the bait. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of curious as to what they're going to do after this season, because I haven't heard that this is the final season. But even though
This
next
show
week,
could easily go 10 seasons and beyond.
right?
I
Yep,
mean, there's no plan to end it.
right. So when
You
they
know,
end,
and when you're an older guy,
right, when they ended last season, though, when he was shot in front of the truck or on the side of the truck, that was kind of like a question mark. Well, did he die? Is he going to come back? And me and Rose are like, well, he's the show, kind
right.
of. Even though Beth is taking over on the show.
Well, I think he's in a really sweet spot because he is the show. The
Then he's
reason why
gonna be
the show is
governor.
on television is because of Kevin Costner,
Yeah.
because of his attachment, and now, even better, him as an on-screen father as well as an on-set father. It's his set. He sets the tone.
Yeah.
His kids are fucking taking the spotlight, and that's got to fucking rock because he's like, cool. So next season, you need me for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I can do all my scenes in 3 weeks and be with my grandkids the rest of the fucking time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then when he gets elected as governor, they'll assassinate his character, and
Well, that could put him into another place where he's stuck in an office, and maybe he's got a movie he's doing or he wants to do something next year.
Sure.
So he does his 5 episodes in the office set, one day of outside exteriors, and he's fucking done for the season.
Yeah. Yep.
With the same simoles. Because everyone, first it was Cole Hauser that was taken over.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And what I think sealed it for her, as far as everyone really fell in love with her, is when she told that kid to fuck off.
That was funny.
You know what I mean? Because they're both like having shitty fucking days, and he didn't really take it personal. He's like, I get it,
Yeah.
And then she's like, and a lot of people like from our era that we knew, we saw those situations all the time, and they would become part of our. So it wasn't foreign to us,
Right.
like it may be for today's kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I thought that was great when she, you little fuck,
Yeah.
and then she's like, "What? You're 14?" And
Yeah, exactly. Slaps.
right,
Figure it
and
out.
then it was even better because every kid who's been bullied or abused or in a shitty situation growing up, we wanted that moment with someone like her who could come in and just tell the world to go fuck themselves and tell the truth to the kid. Don't fuck around. Tell them the truth.
Oh yeah.
And I just think, I don't know. I think those two scenes totally
Definitely.
cemented. What?
Definitely.
Oh, the cricket. Oh, is that the cricket? Is he not? Hey, Rob, what are you doing? But yeah, I think that's what totally cemented her. That's what it for me anyway. That's what did it.
Yeah.
And she's also easy to look at. But
A little bit.
I never in a million years knew she was English.
Oh yeah.
So good for her. But then there's the old timer cowboy. Now, what I'm telling you, that guy's been in a bunch of movies over the years. But he's really good. And then there's a smart ass guy from Texas who got out of jail. Is the guy who plays the guitar.
A guitar.
Yeah. The one thing I have to say, I do fast forward through bits of the show every time it goes to rodeo.
Oh yeah.
Why? Because I've been to 20 of them, maybe,
Uh-huh.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my idea. Maybe the first one was, but the rest weren't. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm just,
Getting flashbacks, huh?
Yeah, and then they brought the girls in, so they had their little woke moment there of
Yeah.
but it wasn't totally it wasn't obscene. They were rodeo girls are rodeo girls.
Right.
And farm girls are farm girls. You can't take that away from them at all, and so it was nice to see that. And the one looked a little bit too pretty to be a rodeo chick, but
The one that looks like Jewel.
yeah. Yeah. In the rough. But yeah, so that created an interesting dynamic. It's funny. What's your name? The smart ass, chew gum chewing pink hair girl. Dude, that's Michael Landon's daughter.
Really?
Yes.
With the purple hair?
Dude, as soon as you look at her now, from now on, you go, no shit, totally.
That's too funny.
Looks just like him. Yeah, and she didn't. So yeah, I watched a bunch of. There's a thing on YouTube. It's live from the bunkhouse.
Oh yeah.
So they'll do like a 10-minute thing for every episode. So if you want to watch a bunch of backstage shit from Yellowstone, if you haven't, you guys go on YouTube and find it. But yeah. Talk about, luck. To get on a show like that, being a kid of an icon and proving yourself to get on an iconic show, and then have really no one really know that about you.
Right.
Because just enough times pass by where the kids aren't going to know, but we would.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Who's Michael Landon?
Right. But I'm surprised they haven't redone that show.
What's Little House on the Prairie?
Yeah. What you call it? Heaven Can Wait.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't done that with like Ice-T or something.
Little House on the Prairie. Yeah. Yellowstone. Little House on the Prairie.
This has been a Dick Wolf production. But no, and she and so her character and I don't know if they're boyfriend girlfriend or not. I guess you would call them that, or at least hanging.
Yeah.
When they got their ass beat, holy shit, that was into. And they got their ass beat by getting stomped on by horses, and that was serious shit.
Yeah.
And what was even better is that they all went and tracked him down.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Costner goes, he has something in mind. I want it back. And Cole went. And so then he went and got it, and then he asked the dude from Texas who he was going to kill, but he didn't, and he basically, they brand, like, if you're part of the mob, if you're part of this group, you can't get out.
Yep.
They brand you at the Yellowstone, and Mr. Costner wanted his brand back, so they cut it off his chest. That's pretty
the old guy?
Yeah. Yeah, and he'd been in a bunch of Westerns for years as stunt guy and all that, but, holy moly. Yeah, so Wes Bentley was the dude who played Jamie Dutton, the non-Dutton,
right,
according to story.
Jamie.
Yeah. But I don't know, I think that was one of the things. It just was too convenient. The guy who they got to play his dad, his birth father, he's always good in what he does.
Yeah. Sam Weston or something like that?
Yeah,
is that his name?
Yeah, he's a veteran actor. And he's always good. He always brings it. But it just seemed too convenient. Almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's such a great show.
Right.
That stuck out for me as not being as good as the rest.
Let's ruin the show for a little bit.
What's that?
Let's ruin the show for a little bit.
Yeah. Let's watch for 17 hours.
Yeah.
Here comes Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's funny is they put the show Cook as a character.
Yeah.
He's actually part of the crew.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
And same with one of the horse wrangler, the guy with the full beard.
Okay.
He's the horse wrangler.
Oh shit.
He's been Taylor Sheridan's friend since they were kids.
Well, no kidding.
Yeah, so he helps, so he's been with Taylor doing the rodeo thing forever, so that's why he's in the show. But
okay, so he can handle the horses, naturally, not anyway, and give us some.
Yeah, he knows all the tricks and how to do all the,
Right, yeah.
And he's the guy who wrangles all the animals for the show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All the horses, but
the horses know him.
Yeah. So that's cool, because usually you don't get that. Or if you do the background.
Right.
Like, I was in a bunch of stuff, but I was always background because I was whatever I was holding had to spark or something, Seems you have a George Harrison growing out of your neck.
Do I?
Is that a painting?
It is a painting that I got for Rose a couple years ago for her birthday.
Do you know who the artist is by chance?
Eric Cash. Cash.
Oh, very nice.
He has a Beetle line acrylic paintings. Actually, yeah, I think it is acrylic. Might be oil, but it could be acrylic. But yeah, he's we saw Eric Cash. We met Eric Cash at one of the Beatles fests. What is it, 5-6 years ago? And we got
like yesterday.
We got tickets for this Beatles fest for Christmas one year. So we went up to Westchester County, and we met the artist. And Rose absolutely loved that print because she's a huge George fan. So got in touch with Eric Cash, and he, sent me the painting. Actually a print. So she absolutely loved. I think I still had the video with her open.
To this day, I still do 1, 2, 3. Check cash. Check cash. Check cash.
I get it.
Who started that? George from the circuit. Remember George? Bald George? Not Tennessee George. Yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee. Jorge.
Yeah. Jorge. So thanks, just for want to wave to people who are watching this live. Thanks for tuning in. This is a new thing. We're figuring it out. And
I was going to say, I'm surprised George hasn't called in.
Right?
He was going to be watching.
Probably check to see if people are saying shit, huh?
It might be a good idea. So
I'm still trying to figure out the live. Okay.
Let's get back to the diet.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to lose 10%?
Because I'm in my 50s and I want to play with my grandkids. I want to teach them how to disc golf
All right. No, here's another thing
and homeschool them.
that I was inquiring about earlier. Well, to myself, I said I got to ask Vince this: what happened with your back?
Oh, okay.
Because I know that, I mean, you had mentioned once before that you wanted to lose weight because your back was killing you.
Yeah,
But
I have chronic pain.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so here's what happened. So I used to be a special effects technician on top of all the other shit that you're doing. But my main gig, when I wasn't producing something small or trying to get something I was directing funded, or I was a special effects guy. That's how I made my money.
Mm-hmm.
95. And so when you're in entertainment, it's feast or famine.
Sure.
So you're either working or you're not.
Yep.
And when you're working,
you're working.
Keep fucking working because you're working.
Yep.
You know, but if you're on a show, it's different. Like I was never on a seasoned show, so I never knew that I had 8 months from, August to April, and then boom, I can either take the summer off or go work on a movie. That wasn't my schedule. I worked on television, movies of the week, big movies, independent movies, and music videos and commercials. So people would call us, and not every movie or every project back then was a special effects spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be out of this month's shoot, special effects is on the movie for a week. So you're always popping around, and we had, I was coordinating multiple crews and all this other stuff. And so I was tired. It had been like a long fucking year. I'm tired, and I'm just about to go be able to take a month off.
Mm-hmm.
Once a year, I took a month off, and I came back to Chicago to decompress. So it's almost time for the month off. And this guy, I couldn't fucking stand. He was the last time he's going to work on my fucking crew, and the day couldn't come fast enough. So we're unloading this prop for Tyson Chicken. And it was like, the commercial was, "This is the Smith family." And it shows the Smith family on a nice little roller coaster, kiddie roller coaster. Yay, wee, and this is, or maybe, and this is the Tyson family. And they show these two arms like this, but it's a cage. And then the family walks in the cage, and it goes wham, 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 wham. Like that's not a fun ride you'd want to take your family on because everyone's fucked up, So that was like the joke of the commercial.
Okay.
Well, this thing, which was the cage, it was miniature. They didn't actually walk in, but it was still large. It was like, size of, it's like the size of two couches or two love seats stacked, with two fists on each side made of steel, So I'm like, hey man, let's get another guy on this to lift it. He's like, you fucking pussy. I'm like, you know what, dude? Fuck you. I'm like, get this fucking truck. This is the last fucking thing. Get the fuck out of my fucking studio. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see you again. I will send you your fucking check. As soon as I did that, pop goes the knee, pop goes my hip, pop goes my back.
Wow.
I mean, because it was, we're coming off let's see. Yeah, so we're coming off a flat surface and a ramp, and then the weight's not distributed evenly.
Yeah.
And if you're working 18 hours a day for 6 months straight, 10 months straight, you're tired. You're fatigued,
sure. Yeah.
And so it was like the perfect combination, And I probably, mix in from a bunch of other shit I've done to myself over the years.
Right.
It just wasn't a good combination for the back. So I wound up, so I go to the doctor, and I'm fucking sweat. I sit down, and my back goes in a full spasm. I can't get out of the chair. I start sweating.
Wow.
They're trying to call the police on me because they think I'm high on drugs. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I'm like, I'm in full spasm. I can't fucking move.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I'm here. Read the paperwork instead of calling the police.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have long fucking hair. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, so they send me, the studio sends me to their clinic. Like, here's what we're gonna do. Da 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 da. I'm like, whoa, 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 man, here's what we're gonna do. I'm like, dude, we haven't even talked about what the movie's about. Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. I'm like, no. I'm like, first of all, you know, he's like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take out 2 vertebrae from your spinal column, and then we're going to open up your hip. We're going to chip out some bone from your hip, and we're going to replace the. I'm like, whoa, hip. Like, dude, I have soft tissue damage. You're doing this to get a fucking certification.
Yeah, no shit.
What the fuck are you talking about? Take out 2 of my vertebrae for a fucking soft tissue damage. What? This is a disc. This isn't a vertebrae. Nothing's broken.
Right.
You know? And he's like, well, da da da. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Give me my file right now.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I said, fuck you. Give me my file. And I went out and I found an attorney, which took me about 3 days. So I find this attorney, and he gets me into Cedars-Sinai with the surgeon who works on the Lakers. My major concern was I wasn't worried about getting a bunch of fucking money. I just wanted to be able to, when I had kids, pick them up.
Sure.
That was like, the doctor's like, okay, here's what's going to happen. But if you ever want to pick up your kids, you're going to have surgery. I'm like, we'll schedule it. You know, that was the whole point, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And so anyway, so get the back surgery. And during that time, in the back surgery, they find out I have spinal stenosis. And what spinal stenosis is when your vertebrae grow and they basically go like this to your spinal cord.
Oh, no shit.
So they said by 50, I was supposed to be in a wheelchair.
Wow.
But and now they have, like, if I would have gotten the second surgery then, it would have been 18 to 24 months rehab.
Oof.
Now they're down to about 2 months.
Oh, no shit.
So when I'm 60, when it's going to happen,
Right
about 60, it'll be like getting over a hip surgery, but different, you know.
Right. It'll be routine.
A little bit more intense than a hip surgery, but yeah. So basically I have chronic pain because of that, and it affects, like, I don't have feeling in my right foot for my
Well, it's
ankle.
not so much that you had the accident that fucked up your back. It's actually the spinal stenosis that actually gives you the pain.
Well, part of it's arthritis.
Oh, okay.
Part of it's neurological because it's nerve damage.
Right. Yep.
And part of it is from what you're saying, from the spinal stenosis. So there's multiple things going on.
Got it.
So certain things really fuck with me. So when it's bitter cold, not good. When it snows a lot, when it snows, no, that's good. That's good because it's mechanical. Keeps the blood going. It's also good cardio, by the way, ladies.
Wow.
But no. So there's different, different things and different food. Like if I, that's why I drink Gatorade now when I drink alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Because if I get too dehydrated, then it jacks the pain up. So there's different, I use different seating. It changed the way I buy my shoes. I revolve the way I buy a car around how easy it is to get in and out of.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I don't care what the fuck it is, who makes it.
Yeah.
If it's comfortable to go right across, that's the car I'm buying. I don't care.
Nice. Yeah. Good idea. Well, it's all about your comfort.
Definitely. Yeah. And so, there's other things. So, so there's things I can't do or I shouldn't do.
Yeah, you could have the Griswold mobile, but hey, as long as it's comfortable.
Right. And disc golf basically was like my savior because I hate exercising. I'm not going to a fucking gym.
Yeah.
And So this, you get to go outside. It's free to play except behind the disc. And I'm with my kids, but it's good, for your upper body, for your torso, for your movement. And then you're always walking, and the walking is one of the best things you can do for your back. So it just worked out that it was a health benefit, but now it hurts to play.
Oh, okay.
So because here's the thing, people don't think about certain things. So here's like a day in chronic life or chronic pain. Okay, so you and I are going disc golfing. Okay, we're gonna play 72 holes. You don't think anything of it because you don't have a back problem. But we know we're gonna get tired because it's gonna be like 80 degrees. It's gonna be a little bit humid, and we're not 30 years old anymore, so we know we're gonna be tired.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 72 holes times 4. That's how many times you have to pick up your bag.
Oh, yeah.
That adds up.
Yeah.
That's why when professional golfers play, they have to walk the course.
Yeah.
That's part of the deal. So my oldest son got me like a $350 fucking disc golf cart, which extended my disc golf playing for another 10 years because now that fatigue is taken away from me.
Yeah.
So it literally cut out half the physical aspect just by changing one thing.
Nice.
So yeah, so I deal with that stuff. I don't like to talk about it a lot because I don't want to sound like I am complaining, but I do know a lot of other people suffer from it. And it's funny when people come along now that they're, hitting the 50s, they're like, well, when it's your turn. Like, dude, I've been talking to you about mine for the past 30 years, 20 years or whatever. Oh, yeah.
It's your turn.
Topel called me one time. Like, he hurt his back. He was like, dude. I'm like, yeah, what's up, buddy? He's like, I just want to apologize. I'm like, Brian, we've never gotten an argument as long as ever.
No, the stuff I said behind your back.
I'm like, yeah. Like, what are you talking about? We've never had it, He's like, oh, I hurt my back. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, there's nothing like it, man. Back pain. There's nothing like back pain.
No, I did. I used to golf and regular golf, and I had actually gone to the driving range to warm up my back, warm up my swing, and just get back into the game.
Yeah.
And we played an 18 hole. It was a small course though. It was a lot of par threes and a few par fours. But the next morning, holy shit, my back was killing me because I was just all the twisting and turning and stretching of the muscles and muscles that I hadn't used in quite a while. So it was an ordeal, but I know exactly. Well, I kind of can relate to what you're saying. I don't know exactly, your the painful situation, but I can relate to waking up the next day and you're kind of like, you got to do roll out of bed. You can't just sit up and
yeah,
swing your feet over and so
yeah. And it was weird. Like after the back surgery and stuff, it took me.
You're thinking real hard because I can see the smoke coming up.
Right. It took me 4.5. Yeah, I'm medicating. It took me 4.5 months to be comfortable.
Oh, really?
I could not get comfortable, and it was driving me insane.
I can imagine.
Well, you'd stand up, like I had a hospital bed for a year. So I lay down in the hospital bed for fucking 45. Get up, stand. Oh, fuck. Go walk for a couple of blocks. Fuck, that hurts. Okay, go fucking sit down. Okay, 15 minutes. Well, that hurts. Then you lay down. And it was just a constant, oh, man, it was maddening.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
But, a lot of people had it way worse than me.
Yeah.
So when I went into disability, I could relate to people easily. Once you tap into, okay, people don't understand being disabled is a full-time job. Pain is its own thing, chronic pain issues. And, a lot of people now have a lot of fibromyalgia type
Right.
issues going on, and they're getting that from the coof that's going around as well. So there's going to have to be a lot of understanding real quick, because we're in a world of a lot of misunderstanding real quick.
Myth-understanding?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's your shirt, myth understanding. We're going to send one to Tyson. Yes, I'm writing it down. That was created by Rob.
Thank you very much.
You guys might be able to buy Rob a gold top if you purchase that t-shirt that's going to be coming out. Misunderstanding or not. But yeah, so that's my story with the with my back.
Wow. Yeah, I never knew that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, that's how much I talk about it. We've
Right,
known each other for, you know.
Yep.
And you're one of the people I'm tightest with in life, and you
I
don't
know.
know that.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? People are like, "Oh, he's probably tells everybody." You know? No, you don't really want to.
No, I am
I'm not
surprised.
complaining. You know what I
No,
mean?
I'm surprised that I never asked you before.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of figured that it happened when you're because I know you had mentioned several times that you on the set you had to run with 100 pounds. So I'm like, well,
yeah.
you take a wrong, you have to just dodge somebody. So it's like,
I got hurt. I got hurt a few times. Yeah, I got knocked out cold. So we're doing this. We're doing this. You remember Nintendo Virtual Boy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we did the commercials for that.
Oh yeah.
So we have this type of like walker, okay, like a Star Wars walker.
Okay.
And there's a guy underneath it with poles on the front feet, and he's got 2 poles coming out of a backpack into the creature.
Okay.
So, here's the eyepiece. That's what he looks like. But he's attached to a boom arm on a Western dolly. Okay. So.
Oh, okay.
So all this guy's doing is keeping up with the footsteps.
Sure.
And then they're going to take him out. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're doing this, and here's me. Oh, right there.
Yep.
We go into a dip because we're doing this in the desert.
Yeah.
Well, the arm goes, whoa. Well, that means the other side kicks.
Oh, sure.
Well, it's filled with 500 pounds of lead.
Oof.
Oh. Wow.
Wow.
Knocked out cold. And then I got yelled at for it. I'm like, I don't know, man. You're the lead. Aren't you supposed to make sure that there's nothing fucking
go
we dip into? What the fuck? But I didn't go home or nothing, but I shattered a bunch of teeth.
Really?
Yeah.
How long were you out for?
Like 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
There was a bunch of dudes on the crew from like Nam, and they were medics and shit. You know what I mean? And we had ambulances with us.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, you're fine. I probably should have,
get out, pussy.
got an X-ray. Yeah, but
you're slowing us up.
Right. Yeah. Well, one person in our company died.
Oh boy.
He was doing. There was a Hulk Hogan movie about being a super nanny.
Oh yeah.
And his gig was the trap door. Trap door. Boom.
Yeah.
Well, he goes. There's the guy. Usually, you put sandbags.
Usually.
Keyword. Yeah, whatever. And you put however much the weight of the person is going to be put on here rather than a human. And then you test it to see if the latch holds.
Yeah.
Well, he went there before anyone. He didn't take anybody with him. He went there a half hour before the crew arrived, and he tested it. Went like this, and fell, hit the back of his head, coma for 2 weeks, and then died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's real easy to die in a movie set. You know,
Oh, sure.
I think I mentioned that on the TED episode, but yeah, it is easy to die in a movie set.
Well,
You
just
know
like
what it's like. You know what all the
yeah,
operations are for a touring.
Wizard of Oz.
You know, was that the biggest one that you worked on?
No, the Wizard of Oz.
No, no, no. Like in your live shows that you've worked on.
Oh, yeah, we had um accidents, but nothing serious.
Yeah, but
So,
you did things that had scope,
oh, absolutely,
so
absolutely. I
you
mean,
understand the dangers, and people get hurt all the time.
rigging, lighting focus, building the truss.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, lights falling and shit.
Yeah, which one got my former boss said he was up 30 feet on tying truss or running cable or something like that up on a truss, 30 feet up. And I'm not sure what tour. I don't know. I don't know what the band was, but the crane operator kind of jerked one of the
Oh
beams,
yeah,
and it went straight into his face. And
Jesus Christ.
he just kind of like a sack of potatoes, like a russet sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
And yeah, he had fucked up teeth. He's got a hair lip now, and I think he broke his jaw. I'm not sure. I don't want to make up stories, but
It would
yeah,
make sense if he did.
the crane operator hid and he locked it up because the crew was running after him. You know, because they felt that he did it on purpose. Because apparently there was a little bit of animosity between the crane operator and my former boss. So they thought he had, purposely rammed him in the face with the beam. So,
Oh,
but,
really?
but he had the harness and he just dangling middle of the air,
Yeah.
harness and stuff. So, but yeah, he was kicked off the site immediately. So, rightly so.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
But
Like, I remember this one kid. We're working on this movie, and I hated family hires.
still do.
Hated it. Fucking, if you're the only reason why you got a job is you're someone's fucking relative, you're a fucking asshole. If you can do the job, sweet. Like if you're qualified and you can, I have no problem.
Yeah.
But if you're making 3 times my fucking rate because you're related to someone and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This wasn't this case, but that was my view on it.
Sure. It's still
And, so this kid's 18 and he's working with us, and we do pyro and gun wrangling, so we're doing explosions, sparks, all types of shit. And we're doing this movie up in Oregon with
again.
Oregon with Gregory Hines and Vincent D'Onofrio. And he comes out of the truck. I'm in a parking garage. So already, like all our crews are, except for this guy, are long hairs. So they don't like people from California. They don't like long hairs at the time. We're in the parking garage and fucking up downtown parking and all types of shit. And there's eyes on us. You know what I mean? And he comes out of our 24-foot cube truck with 2 fucking prop guns with blanks. And he comes out and he starts firing them.
What an idiot.
I had to tackle him. I was so fucking furious. I was so pissed off that he didn't get fired. I almost quit. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This, that, and the other, da, 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 da. And then we're working on this television set, which goes through the top of the car that Vincent D'Onofrio, drops. And he's hanging out because everyone hung out at the effects trailer because there's cool shit there. So the actors, when they weren't working, would come over by us and shoot the shit. And Vincent D'Onofrio's from Chicago, and I'm from Chicago, So we're having a great time. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Gregory Hines, fucking great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. And so they're there, we're talking, da-da-da. And I'm telling Chris, the kid who came out with the fucking guns, I'm like, dude, okay. I said, I told you to do this carefully because we didn't want the television tube. So what we're doing is we're opening up the television, and it's the old style tube, and we have to run cable around it because we're going to drop it from a crane onto the top of a Lincoln Continental.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to rig this thing, and if you're spending 2.5 hours to get to the point and they break the tube and now the picture's fucked up, it's going to look bogus on camera. Now you have to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't wait 2 fucking seconds. He moves it without telling me, breaks the tip of the fucking tube, vacuum's broken. He moves it back, slices open my thumb.
Oh boy.
Like in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know, and Vincent D'Onofrio is, right next to me. I'm like, dude, you motherfucker, what the fuck? You know, and he's like, Vincent D'Onofrio's like, get the first aid kit. So Vincent D'Onofrio did on this fucking scar right here. Did the first aid on it.
Sutures?
No, man, butterfly. We didn't have time to fuck around.
Did he kiss it, make it feel better?
No, but
that's a story for another time.
He did buy me a 6-pack though.
Nice.
He out of his way. He goes, hey man. I'm like, dude, you didn't have, but cool guy. So yeah, I'm always a big fan of anything that Vincent D'Onofrio does, just because he's a good human being.
Did you do any of your Full Metal Jacket lines on him?
Yeah. Dude, what a great
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Don't just stand there like a Kansas City faggot, boy. Like, holy shit,
That's what you should have. First thing you should have said out of your mouth when you met him. Have a flashback.
You never know. Yeah. But,
get this guy out the set.
Oh, the best part was, so we're doing this. All the shit's supposed to be tossed out of like the 4th story building.
Okay.
In downtown Portland. So we're all looking at the thing. The streets are cordoned off and stuff. And we have a crew of about 75 people. And actually, what's his name? Jarmusch. The guy who wound up working with Spielberg was the guy who shot this.
Okay.
The guy who did Schindler's List, shot this movie or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if it was Schindler, but he wound up working anyway. So all of a sudden we hear this. Everyone looks to the side, and here comes a car breaking through the traffic cones. Boom, 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 boom. And he fucking jams on the brakes and does a power slide and stops. Here's the crew, and he stops like right here. And we're all looking like, what the fuck? And Gregory Hines is laughing, and he's like, fuck you. It was his day off.
Shit, that's hilarious.
So on his day off, he came to fucking scare the crew and fuck with them and then leave. He was a really nice guy. I got to talk to him about tap dancing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's a big tapper, and he comes from the lineage, and my parents were all into that shit, and
oh yeah.
So it was cool to because not too many people you could have that conversation with.
Oh, I know it, yeah.
But and I got to ask him about Sammy Davis. That
I was just gonna say, did you do your Sammy Davis impersonation?
Oh, come on, babe. Yeah. Don't you know it? Who can make the sun rise? Here come the judge. Here come the judge. Dude, I loved Sammy Davis Jr.
Here come the judge.
That guy was great, man.
He was a great drummer.
Yeah, absolutely. Him, Carson. Carson was a good drummer as well. There's a lot of people that Bill Burr's a drummer. That's funny.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, he's actually jammed with like Nikki Sixx and like dudes, they'll like do shows. Oh,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, another comedian like sounds just like Brian Johnson from AC/DC, so they'll get together and do like a a fundraiser type of thing. But he talks about drumming all the time.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Bill Burr.
He's funny.
That guy's great. But so Beth, back to Yellowstone. So Beth starts going on this thing and starts basically buying up all the land.
Yep.
But she's doing it on behalf of her
company.
Yeah. So look at that happy couple. Dude, she is so fucking evil on that screen.
Isn't she?
And he's so fucking evil.
But they look so precious.
But dude, it works. You know what I mean? It's the weird. It shouldn't.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It on paper it shouldn't work, but it does. That's actually brilliant. I wish you'd wash his fucking jacket though.
Brilliant.
Right. Brilliant. So is that a Carhartt? It's not Levi's? It looks like it's kind of like an oiled.
Yeah. Oiled suede or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a badass. I don't know if he had to dye his hair for that, but sometimes the beard is off-putting with the dyed beard.
Yeah.
But his acting is, fucking incredible.
Top notch. Yeah, they got a great crew.
Yeah, what's really interesting is because after Kevin's off the screen, he's left to lead the show.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But he really doesn't have scenes with Kevin Costner. I mean, season 4 he did, at dinner table stuff. But before that, he really didn't. It was just in passing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was very interesting to, so I'm like, well, how's he that, that's the other thing that wasn't really spoken of is how Kevin Costner took it that, his outlaw guy from Man with No Name is banging his daughter. Not that he can control his daughter one way or the other.
Yeah, that's true too.
And it's not about controlling the daughter. But I'm sure maybe he's just resigned to that fact.
Yeah.
Because at this point they have powerful enemies and they're looking to block Rainwater and Jenkins' plan for a big business deal.
Yeah.
And then John's enemies strike a direct hit on the Yellowstone. John forms an unlikely alliance, and Casey has his first day as livestock officer. And that's all interesting because, as I said before, I didn't know any of that shit, happened. But then we go into the rodeo thing. Let's see. Oh, so Monica is the wife of, is it Jamie?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so she's a native girl. And the new...
No, not Jamie. That was the, what is his name? The native girl's, I forget his character's name.
Let's see. Luke Grimes?
Yeah, I thought it was
Casey?
Luke. Casey, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, now he's got that other...
the other squaw?
The other lady angling in, and wow. Does the camera love her?
Yes, it does.
Made my heart stop for a second there. And I'm not trying to be piggish. I'm just saying, the camera, loves certain people. Oh, so by the way, Forey Smith is the guy who plays Lloyd.
Lloyd, yeah.
Lloyd. And Mo Brings Plenty is the right-hand man.
Mo Brings Plenty? Oh, yeah.
To Thomas Rainwater, who's played by Gil Birmingham.
Yeah, if you follow Indian Country,
yeah,
they had a write-up about him either today or yesterday.
Yeah, we should get him on.
Yeah. But I didn't actually get a chance to read it, but I saw the headlines about making headway with the native, what's a non-derogatory way of saying takeover? The native takeover recently with reservation dogs and Yellowstone.
Oh, I would say proper representation.
Proper representation. There you go. Proper representation. Easy for you to say.
And this is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Of how to do it. You do it with honor. You do it with fucking integrity.
Mm-hmm.
You don't make a scene, and sure, people say easy to say as a white male, whatever. I don't know, suck my dick. It's from a human standpoint.
Right.
Anybody in this country has not gotten fucked more than that demographic.
Correct. Yeah.
So, people who think you've been fucked more, look to the people leading, follow their example,
Sure.
you know. And like I said, we mentioned this earlier, it's all, none of it's parody anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Like even, I mean, we grew up with the parody of it, you
Yeah.
know. And I mean, I don't know how that affected you in your daily life. I mean, did that mess with you?
No, I wouldn't say in my daily life because it just I didn't. We lived in a country, so we didn't really. And our school was right out the res, or right out the res. So it's right outside the res. So it really wasn't all the people that were familiar with it weren't like that guy's an Indian. So it wasn't nothing like that. It
Yeah.
was everybody kind of knew you know our backstory, so we didn't
No,
have
like when you saw when you would see the PSA on,
Iron
ABC
Eyes.
Saturday morning, and you'd see the guy on the horse, and you'd see the old Jew cry.
The funny thing is my grandfather loved the old westerns. Not so much, I mean, in addition to John Wayne, but the the other western movies, not so much Big Jake again, but um he loved that stuff. Not sure why, cuz and he thought it was funny maybe.
It's interesting. You bring that up, and just the other day, I'm driving. Yeah, I'm tired of the radio. I don't want to hear it anymore. I've heard Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, I don't care. I will drive around with nothing on or
I,
jazz.
yeah.
Like I'll put some jazz on. It's non-stressful. Or just driving around. I'm like, like it's really weird. I never thought I'd find myself being totally into westerns. And I'm like, well, Yellowstone's really not a western. It's an updated western. It's a fucking western. Same shit. You got the bad sheriff, you got the good guy, you got the bad guy. It's a fucking western. And then I'm like, well, it actually makes sense. Because what kind of stories resonate with me? Fairness.
Yeah.
I want to see the guy who fucks the little guy get his ass kicked.
I think that's why we like Beth.
I just think that's great. And
Right.
but yeah, it was so then I started thinking, I'm like, well, shit. Biggest shows of my childhood. Oh, Cisco. Oh, Pancho. Cisco Kid. Then there'd be the Lone Ranger. I wasn't a rifleman person, but like those two shows were like huge in my life as a kid. And
I
my
remember
number one,
Little House on the Prairie.
which is Western attached.
Little House on the Prairie.
My number one fictional character of all time is fucking Zorro.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really looking forward to that because Vilmo is doing a new Zorro show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the dude from that 70s show. He's on as producer and lead.
I remember watching Bonanza when we were growing up.
But
Bonanza, Gunsmoke.
Here's one.
Oh,
The Big Valley.
yeah.
Because it was like right after like Lost in Space or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Big
That's
Valley.
funny.
That was a fucking great
Big
one.
Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you talking to?
Right. But it's interesting that like that the Western is coming back now, and we're in a more complicated place, and simple stories are starting to, because really Yellowstone, even though the plot's complicated, it's a simple story.
Sure. Yep.
you know, good versus evil, but who's
Colonialism.
good, who's evil, you know. But yeah, so continuing on, let's see here. Okay, so season 3. So that dude that they brought in for the pretty boy, he used to be the pretty boy when we were younger. The
one with the
where
guitar.
Beth finds a trespasser on the ranch and he's fishing. The
Oh yeah,
corporate
yeah,
guy.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he what the hell? Wasn't he in that he's normally a sci-fi guy, isn't he? Wasn't he from Lost?
I believe so. When I saw him too, I'm like, where have I seen that guy?
Right.
I think
And the
you're right.
casting was great because right away you hate him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, oh, this fucking fuck.
Yeah, and right away you knew Beth was going to take care of him too.
Oh, well, I thought she was going to take care of him in a different way first. Because that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, if anyone could basically even be close to Rip, it's him.
Yeah, okay.
But in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, on paper more than anything else. And apparently, let's see. Oh, yeah, and then Kevin Costner's banging the governor.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, yeah, come out to the tent.
Uh-huh.
And then we have the Native American, the Native American version of Beth comes in.
Yeah, yeah. The one that got killed.
Did she get killed? Did I miss that? Did she get killed? Really? The bitch?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to rewatch. How did she get killed?
I forget, but they found her body down by the river.
Really?
Yep.
See, kids, this is what happens when you smoke the marijuana. Wow, because I'm like, hey, when's she coming back?
Yeah, she's not coming back.
Well, at least she made a
impression.
Well, yeah, you're never gonna forget her on screen. You know what I mean? I mean, that's hard to do as a guest star for just a few episodes, you know?
Yeah.
So good for her. So hopefully she'll be in, you know, her own show. I did not know that. I sound like an idiot. But okay, so let's see here. Beth reveals the secret to her father. So Beth finally tells her dad about getting the abortion, and that's why the whole hard on for
Jamie
has been ongoing. And then it made sense in the story why, because I was like, Ben, why does she fucking hate this guy? Like, I mean, there's there's sibling shit, there's bullshit, and then there's doesn't make sense. And this
now you're sounding like Rose,
right? Yeah, that's okay. But you know, then the interesting thing that I thought that they did in this season is when in the episode called "I Killed a Man Today," Beth continues her battle with Willa Hayes and brings John a lucrative offer. Monica has a harrowing ordeal, and she basically is kind of like the side of the road patsy for this person who apparently has been going around abducting and making Native women disappear.
Yeah.
And they catch him right in the act, and as she's about to get you can't say that word. She's about to get sexually assaulted. You know, you hear this snick, and it's a bullet going right through his fucking head, which was great. And so at that point, you learn that she was basically working with the Native authorities to bring this guy down.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they fucking took him out. But that was incredibly brutal.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know, psychologically and, you know. But then things start to ratchet up. And then you go back to the two girls from the, you know, the bunkhouse. Never will look the same after that. And then, of course, the old guy, he starts getting pissed off after the rodeo girl starts sleeping with the pretty boy.
Yep.
And dude, that guy's voice is great.
It is.
Yeah, so and she, maybe she came on to that guy a little too hard, but he should have known better as well. He's an older gentleman. That was oh, you get it?
I think I did.
Right? But yeah, it's a really good show, man. I'm digging it.
I'm not surprised at the popularity, though, too. I mean, like you said, it is a good show. We found it by mistake, or I found it by mistake, and it's one of those shows.
You have to look for it to find it.
I forget how I heard about it. I did hear about it from maybe, now that I think about it, just because of Kevin Costner, his name was associated with the show. I think I'm like, well, nothing else to watch. I was in between other series, so I'm like,
right. The two Westerns that he's directed are phenomenal.
Right.
So why wouldn't it's perfect? It's the perfect setting for him.
Oh, sure.
And right off the bat, you save 2 seasons just because of that.
Yep. So, but yeah, I'm watching it, and now it's one of those shows where Rose looks over her shoulder and is like, "Oh, what is this?" So then, obviously, like I said before, with other series that I can't watch it at work now. Gotta wait till I get home.
I'm watching another series. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it right now. Oh, Joe Pickett. I'm watching.
Joe Pickett.
And it's in the same vein of, if you like Yellowstone, if you like Longmire.
I did like Longmire.
It's kind of like in that, and it's based on a series of books about Wyoming, and it's a game warden.
Yeah.
So, there seem to be a lot of shows coming out with the components of, and maybe it's going to be its own genre, like a Southwest genre.
Yeah. A trend.
There's tribal representation in all these shows coming out.
Yep.
So rather than blowing it off like they have in every other show, now it's an integral part, because people aren't stupid.
Right.
Well,
they are. But...
well, yeah. Right. And they're like, oh, they have interesting stories to tell, probably, right? Since their whole culture was destroyed. What? Yeah, but yeah.
Are we just gonna give their land back?
Right. Let's all pitch in and get them their land back.
Pitch in.
But and it's been have you heard any update of what's going on in Oklahoma? Did they actually get half the state back?
I haven't heard. No, not lately.
I don't know how they're gonna do. That's an interesting one.
That is interesting.
Let's see here. So then Jamie figures out that he's adopted.
Yeah.
And he goes and sees his father, who he finds out
his Faja.
His Faja.
Oh, you mean
Faja? What? His Faja? Dad Faja. But yeah, and of course the actor is really good, who plays his dad. But the reason why he was in jail, because he killed
his mother.
Yeah, and he's like, well, the reason why I killed your mother because she was a fucking whore.
Wow.
Like, geez, she was selling her body for drugs, and that's why I killed her.
That's a reason.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why I did it. He just went all crazy one night. There was nothing we could do. Yeah, and so it turns out, now there's got to be more to that story that we're going to find out later. Because I'm trying to think of it. Was he a hand at the Yellowstone, or was she a hand at the Yellowstone, or was she friends with the mother?
Well, she was given hand jobs at the ranch.
Hand jobs?
She was responsible for the hand jobs at the ranch.
Can you work a rope? No. I got an idea. So I don't know how. Yeah, so I still don't understand how those people connect.
I think we're gonna find out. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know how that.
Yeah,
how or
we
why,
we
you
were
know.
sitting there trying to figure out the pieces too. So I think we're missing something, and we're gonna have to. They're gonna have to reveal something.
Right.
So
You
I'm
know,
sure.
because and he had mentioned that he's got stepsisters or so
Right.
that'll probably come into play at some point because they're going to come looking. They're going to come a looking and see who killed their old man.
That's right.
But
What you
yeah.
do to Dad?
Yeah, so Lloyd winds up being the doghouse for being a dick to the pretty boy with the guitar
Yeah.
banging that chick now, and then we go on. Beth confronts her father's house guest. Casey and family search for a new home, and
Guess that 24-year-old,
right.
23-year-old college girl.
Yeah. So then the tensions escalate with the protesters. Beth has a plan. Jimmy and Emily get closer. Monica and Casey share a special moment. I really like the guy who plays Casey.
Yeah. Yep.
He's on screen. He's got a special type of vulnerability about him.
Yeah. Good word. Yep.
You know, there's like you can see an inherent worry.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and that for some reason, I don't know why, but that just works. And I think he's cast really well against his on-screen wife.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's going to be interesting because in season 4, now you've watched everything, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you went on Vision Quest and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's freaking out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the matter? Like when he said he saw the end of us. Does that mean?
I can't tell you.
Damn it! Does that mean like like what did you think? Was your first thought when he said that of the family or of them?
Here's the thing that Rose was like, well, he's not native. How can he be on a Vision Quest? So now, because of that, because of his wife and the other guy that the leader was saying that, kind of.
Well, we don't know if he's part native.
Spiritually part of the family.
Right.
So it's kind of like.
Well, if those families have been working together since the 1800s.
Correct. 1883.
You know what I mean? So it could be, they could be part, maybe mom was part native. We don't know yet.
Right. Yeah. Got any Indian in you?
Yeah. You know how many times I heard Rob say that at bars when we were in college?
How many times did it work?
I will not answer that question. Because I love my buddy, and I will not answer that question.
I will not condone that.
Yeah. But
what was the line again exactly?
Hey, so you got any Native American in you?
No.
Oh.
From Luke.
What line were you speaking of, sir?
From Casey.
He said his line was I saw the end of us. So I don't know if he meant the end of the
Dutton family
or the end of his thing, because there was a couple of insert shots of the new of the new lady,
right?
And she was totally, and you know what, that was really refreshing to see. Like at first you're like, what is this chick doing?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a derogatory, so fucking calm your fucking keyboard hands. So you're like, what is this lady doing? That was refreshing to see.
We do have
for someone being honest.
We do have Indian medicine for love charms.
Yeah.
So, dude, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Well, can you mix up?
Lobbing it out, huh? Yeah.
Can you fix up for me there, buddy?
I will say a prayer for you.
Well, I mean, you know, I've heard of a bunch of people doing sweat lodge stuff and who aren't native and, you know,
Right.
all that kind of thing. I mean, my son calls you uncle. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Very proud of that.
Yeah, as are we. And, you know, but a lot of people don't understand what that means. It's not like calling some, hey, Uncle Dave. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Sign of respect.
yeah, it's a level of respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And because we don't say, he doesn't say Uncle Rob,
Right.
you know, uncle. And a lot of people with, you know, skin similar to mine don't know. Holy shit.
Where'd that come from?
Dry skin. I guess I've had a hoodie on all fucking. Jesus Christ. What happens when you get older? You wake up one day and your half your arms looks like a fucking elephant, or your fucking foot doesn't work.
No, it's all the antibacterial lotion that we do.
Yeah. Oh, you know what it is?
It's
I'm
all this.
always leaning.
It's
I'm
all this
always
stuff.
leaning on this.
It's
Oh,
all this
nice.
stuff.
Hand
It's drying our skin out.
sanitizer gel for masturbating at your best. Oh.
Wrong one.
Who put the icy hot on the? Yeah.
It's not Jergens.
Yeah. Shit. But yeah, this show is, I mean, they can just go on and on and on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and the kid who plays
Casey's son.
Yeah. He's had some incredible acting spots.
Yes, he has.
You know,
with the rifle guy that came in the house.
Yeah, and for him, and that was a really cool scene because that
was intense, man.
Oh, for sure. Get to the bunkhouse. What's happening? Get to the bunkhouse. Yeah, you know, I mean, dude, evil shit. You know, humans suck.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and sometimes, like, I think when I'm watching shows like this, and people are like, "Oh, the real world's not like this," and I'm like, "Yes, it is." How do they not know?
Yeah.
Like, evil shit happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there's money to be made, lock and load. We'll call it a police action.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're gonna take their gold and their women and their drugs. Wait. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's interesting to see how this plays out because there's multiple people going for the same thing, but you can have a stalemate and still be productive,
Yeah.
so to speak, you know. Not in the red.
Yeah. No pun intended.
Yeah. But then so the end of season 3.
Yep.
There is a rollout. Kevin Costner stops because he's got manners, like you would do, like I would do. If someone's at the side of the road, young mother with a kid,
Mm-hmm.
have to change a tire. She's on the phone. I would always, I'm sure you would too, roll down the window. Do you need any help?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, you know, if you're raised correctly, that's just how shit works.
Yeah.
And it's not a weird thing. And so she's like, oh, I've got no money to give you. And that's the difference between where you live, where you grow up, how you're properly adjusted.
Yeah, show me
You
your
know,
titties.
people have tried to, you know, like this one guy, he was stopped. There was a blizzard was going on. And Seth's girlfriend calls us and it's like, this guy's been out in the parking lot for an hour and a half. He's like 90, trying to change his tire. It's a blizzard out. We get there. His hands are bright fucking red. I'm like, dude, get in the car. Get in my car. Warm up. Don't worry about it. He's like, no. I'm like, dude, get in the car. So we changed the tire, everything else, this, that, and the other. You know, we had to shovel out a bunch of shit. And he's getting warm. And he tries hand it, like, at that point, I had, like, it was a tough spot. I didn't have a lot. Things were tight. Everything was just paid. Holidays, you know, a lot of cash outflow. You know, and I'm taking care of mom, this, that, and the other. So I don't have a lot, but I'm fine.
Sure.
And he offers like $240 cash.
What?
And I'm like, dude, no. He's like, you have to take. I'm like, I'm not taking it. And I said, my son's not going to take it. You can offer us all day. We're not fucking taking it. All it is a changed tire. He goes, yeah, but you stopped when no one else did. You know how many hundreds of people drove past me?
I'm a millionaire. Oh, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, well, if you want to fund my company on it, but no, it was and he gave me his card and stuff, and I'm like, whatever, just go on your way.
Yeah.
But the fact that hundreds of people passed this guy up in a parking lot of Walgreens.
That's sad.
He's got no gloves. He's got no hat. He's 90 years old, and he's got a flat tire. What's wrong with the equation here? People are worried about the wrong shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Help your brother. Help.
Exactly.
I don't get it. So anyway, at the end of this season 3, we learn in season 4 that the guy threw his wife down the stairs. Set up the whole Dutton family to get wiped out. And my confusion was, in order to do what he did, that's a lot of money. A lot.
Well, exactly. But on the same token, it's just like has not had a motive set up yet.
Right. There is, but there isn't. Well, there's an alluded to motive because you would think that's why.
Right.
But there has to be something floating over the through line of what we think.
Right.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Was that his sister? Was that Kevin Costner's sister, maybe?
Could be.
And he chose not to take her to get an abortion? And then she wanted, you know what I mean? It could be the flip of this generation's story.
Right, yeah. Yep.
Because you don't hear anything about brothers or siblings so far that I'm aware of.
Right.
From Costner.
Well, they did in the flashback.
Oh, did they show a brother of his?
Yeah. Yep. But I don't know. I don't remember if there were any like sisters or girls, but I do remember seeing a brother, and I thought he did some sort of conversing back and forth, but I don't remember what the conversation was about.
Yeah.
So,
Seth went to Colorado. So now, one of the places that I wanted to move to was Colorado.
Yeah.
And so now that he's back, he's like, dude, that place is da 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 da. So as a joke, we, for years we've been looking online. Hey, yeah, for the $5 million, we can get this. Let's order 3 of them. Just for shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, one of our favorite pastimes is to look for the most hideous fucking, like, why would you pay $5 million for a Lincoln log fucking cabin? Oh, look, it's wood on 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 wood, wood on wood. Like, why would really, like,
the basement's made of wood?
Drywall's okay. I literally don't get the log home inside loggity wood on wood on wood on wood on wood.
Yeah. I just don't understand wood on wood.
Right. Hey.
No, I'm saying.
To each his own. But vacuum lock. But I would watch and pay for that. Anyway, so at the end of season 4, like, there's some badass shit goes down. So John Dutton gets basically roadside fucking, this van kicks open. Tuck, 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 tuck. There's one thing, because I watched that episode 3 times. That was my little Mr. Roper moment. So I watched that episode 3 different times. We never find out what happens to the kid. We didn't. I don't want to see a kid get shot on screen. I get that part. But we didn't see him hurt on screen. He took off. So there's an eyewitness of some sort floating around. So you're going to wind up being the kid who winds up in foster care.
Are you creating a twist here?
I could be. Hey, just because he hung himself doesn't mean I had anything to do with it.
The orphan that Beth brought in is the witness?
Well, no, not the orphan. He's the balance. He's the yang to that yin.
Sure.
So he's the flip.
Flippity flop.
Yeah. And in the long haul, that created a situation that created his kid who he adopted. So in that situation, he's taking part of another mother being killed while the son is becoming an orphan. So is that kid going to become part of the, because this whole bitch right now is about, I don't have anyone to give the land to.
Right.
So is that going to be another absorbed, adopted part of the family because he was there and he's going to need, because he's going to, at some point, people are going to start, what happened to the fucking kid?
Yeah.
You know,
like
so he can
right
maybe bring him in and give that guy his best friend. So it could be a Dutton and a Rip situation for the next generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just thinking.
Always thinking. More coffee?
Yes, please. Absolutely. So, okay. So what do you think's going to, okay. So then at the end of season 3, all this shit happens. Beth, holy fuck. So they get to her office and they're like, oh, which she's gotten fired from, and she doesn't give a fuck. So she's gotten fired again. And so she's packing up her shit, and her assistant's like, oh, hey, here's a box. Oh, look, it's a box between it. And she's like, don't open it. Whoa.
Yeah.
Fucking the whole building, the fucking side of the building gets blown out. There is something in there, in that scene that was very interesting to me because to me it seemed hyper realistic. Because when something happens like on that level, when you're traumatized like that, you want something of regularity immediately. Sure. And she asked that guy to bum a cigarette.
Yeah.
And she's got glass like sticking out of her arms and shit, and her whole back is burnt.
Right. Yeah.
Which, they show that later in an intimate moment with her and Rip. Yeah, I would. But that was that was one of the best scenes I've ever seen on television. Because they actually got it correct.
Sure.
Or at least as close as like if you've experienced trauma, you know what it is. So to see that properly done was kind of cool.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And to make us feel bad for her, and she's dude, she should win all the awards for this part. And you don't even have to ask me ever again. Oh, if she just give it to her. Oh, you better.
If her name's on it, give it to her.
Yeah. Can you imagine being like I don't know what her marital status is or whatever, but can you imagine dating her now? Like, hey, how you doing? And then she just goes right into a fucking Yellowstone moment,
Flashback.
Are you gonna put Splenda in that? No. I'm not even gonna drink coffee anymore. Yeah.
Let me grab my guitar for you.
Yeah, her acting is amazing. So season 4, we go into season 4, and it's the aftermath of that, and it's still going on at the Dutton Ranch. And that's when Casey's kid saves his mom by blowing away that guy. He goes into massive PTSD, mental shutdown. understandable for his age.
Sure.
And you know, that was another interesting thing that they showed on screen, that the way that they did it was pretty well. You know, you have a whole family just freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, even though they're one of the most protected people, they're not protected.
Right. Yeah.
They all know that they can be gotten to now,
Yeah. They're targeted.
you know. But you know, and then they all look and they go, well, I just love that picture.
I can tell.
Right. You know, and then, you know, and then you go to the reverse angle, Rob watching on the couch.
It reminds me of a Yngwie Malmsteen song.
Oh, the Viking. I am a Viking. Yeah. That's a good Yngwie Malmsteen. There's a guy. Holy shit.
I refuse to go see him.
What's that?
I refuse to go see him.
Yeah. I told you what we did to him, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. It was that, I think it was the album with Viking. It was Jeff Scott Soto who had done the album, but the video didn't star Jeff Scott Soto. It was the new guy you don't remember, you'll never forget.
Jolene Turner.
So this was like one of my favorite songs of that era.
Yeah.
And by the time I got down to Lauderdale, he'd had 4 singers already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's like, you know, dude, what are you doing? Like, you've got the name.
Yeah.
Everyone can pronounce it, which is fucking beyond me. Everyone can pronounce it. You have that on your side. Dude, pick a singer.
Yeah.
Keep them. But he kept on every album.
He couldn't keep them.
Yikes. Anyway, so me and Topel go down, and it's a meet and greet. Yngwie Malmsteen's going to be at whatever the fucking Peaches or whatever. I don't even remember what the store was. And this is like a month into being at school. So it's like one of my first experiences with Topel. So we're down there. That wasn't illegal, hypothetically. You know. So we go down there and we're like, hey, da-da-da. You know, everyone's got shit to sign except me and Brian. Literally everyone in line has shit to sign.
Yeah.
And we get to there and he's kind of like, and I lean over. I'm like, I just want to ask you a question. I'm like, what is it about you that you can't get along with singers? Is it you or is it them? Seriously. I'm like, I just need to know because, dude, I'm a fan of yours and 4 singers, 3 albums.
Yeah.
What, you know? And he's like, I think lead singers have a problems for themselves, actually. Well, okay. So then,
oh, he's not wrong.
yeah. So then I wind up hanging out with this guy that we went to school with, and he dropped out pretty early. Last name Vader, like Darth. And so I tell him this story, and he's laughing, more than you should.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I get I'm amusing at some time, you know, okay, I'm going to do this because I don't want to talk about that, but I'll tell you this story and you'll laugh a little bit. He's like crying, laughing. Like, dude, it's not that funny.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, yes, it is because I watch his Cats. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, dude, he's on tour. You want his number? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want his number. So I got Yngwie's number. Hypothetically. And hypothetically, someone dialed his number every few months for 5 years.
What? And he kept the same number?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right.
Mr. Malmsteen, this is agent so-and-so at the Internal Revenue Service, and there's some discrepancies, if you'd please, you know, like whatever it was. I made it ambiguous enough just to like, what? Like every time he probably still had to call his accountant just because.
What's this bullshit?
Yeah.
Bullshit,
Like, oh,
bullshit, bullshit.
Don't try fucking soaking. But yeah, so that that made my day for a few years.
That's hilarious.
Hypothetically, of course.
Of course.
But I thought that was funny.
Watch this is cat.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we're in season 4. So now there's a few things in season 4 talking about it that doesn't make sense to me, because you knew that they would find out that his birth father was involved. You knew that was going to happen.
Sure.
He should have known who he was as state's attorney, and a member of that family. He should have known they were coming.
Yeah.
And the fact that he stayed away, even though he worked on behalf and a couple of things on paper, maybe due to political posturing, was he wanting them to kill him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is his destruction of that family his own death? Is that what they're kind of gearing towards here? Because I don't see Kevin Costner taking him out. I don't.
Really?
Yeah. And that's the wedge that'll go in between Beth and
Jamie.
Beth and the old man, and then that's what might pit them against each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because remember now, the other big ranch that the other guy, like, they're the version of him on the northern side of the state.
Okay.
And then the brothers were taken care of.
Yep.
Well, now that's open. Well, what if something happens and Biff and Beth take that over, and now they're going to battle for the state of Wyoming against the old man? That's kind of like, I don't know if that would happen, but that's kind of like, oh, okay. But what would wind up happening is Beth would kill Biff or Rip, because Rip would wind up being choosing the dad over her. That's what I think, in a large swath of shit that doesn't mean anything, but that's like, what I'm thinking of, like, in the bigger picture, like, okay, where could it go from here?
You need to smoke another one.
Well, maybe I do. I don't know why you see screens that pop up like this.
I want what you're smoking.
Right. I have no idea what's funny is, for people who don't know, me and Rob can see each other on screen when this is up. So
I can't see you.
Oh, really? On the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have the full screen.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. So this is our Creativity Talking second live stream onto YouTube, and so we are now on Apple Podcasts. We're now on Audible and a bunch of other services that we had to wait until we did a live stream, because they don't list you until you've done a live stream as part of your thing. So now we're open to the other half of the internet, because it was about half.
That's cool.
Yeah, so iHeartRadio, Audible.
Oh, and for the people in Senegal, thank you for watching.
Oh, absolutely. Senegal. Oh yeah, let's list the we have some new peeps here. Okay. Yep. We are the number 4 comedy interview show in Senegal, Africa. So we always give a shout out to our buddies down there. Hope everything is well. Hope there's no illnesses taking over your community, no matter how low level or higher level they are. We want to make sure everyone's all right.
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely.
Locations. Here we go. All right. So we have here's our listeners we now have in United States, Germany, Ukraine, Canada, France, United Kingdom, Australia, our buddies in Senegal, the Netherlands, Israel, Dominican Republic, India. What's up, India? We want more fans from India, so please like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends about us. We have Italy, Spain, Norway, Portugal, South Korea, Rwanda, Belgium,
Wow.
Nigeria, Estonia, Albania, Indonesia, and Mexico.
Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah. And yeah, like I was remembering a conversation. I was having a conversation with somebody and we're talking about Mexican food. And I'm like, yeah, Mexican food's fucking great, man. This, that, da, da, da. Like, oh yeah. I'm like, no. What you make is not Mexican food. It's Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's Mexican food. I said, no, it isn't. Mexican, you do not spice Mexican food.
Yeah.
You don't put a bunch of bullshit in there.
No.
Right? So this dumbass goes, well, my husband was there for a day. I'm like, oh, so that negates the 10 years I lived 100 miles from the border. What? No, Tex-Mex is Tex-Mex. Mexican food's Mexican food. Quit saying. I don't know why I brought that up. It just pissed me. What's that?
Texican.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I know because someone I know went there for a day.
A day.
Where'd they go? Oh, that's why. Where'd they go?
Tijuana.
You said Mexico. Yes, and I'm like, that's not fucking Mexico. That's TJ. That's fucking Tijuana. That's not Mexico. It doesn't count as fucking Mexico. It's like, it's like that fucking bar in fucking Star Wars, the fucking Isley Cantina. That's fucking Tijuana.
With a donkey show.
Yeah. House of 100 beers. $5 blowjobs, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, inflation. Biden's America.
Inflation, no pun intended.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, so finishing season 4. So we had the weasel winds up basically shooting his dad in the head, but his dad knew it was coming.
Yeah, he did.
Did his dad set everything up for it to come that way?
I believe so.
Me too.
So,
maybe there's cameras running somewhere.
It goes back to what I said before. It's like, what's the motivation here? Right. There's something that we don't know yet that's going to be a major bomb. So, why was he behind killing the family? Because he killed, Dutton's wife. So there's a lot of open-ended things here that
Yeah, I mean, his wife, the baby mama, she's gonna figure out that he whacked the dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I have no idea what they were even thinking, but I think that was a setup.
I missed the whole thing where that introduced the idea that Jamie has a baby mama. I totally missed that episode.
Oh, yeah, it's when he was running for when he was running for Attorney General the first time.
Okay,
that was his political advisor, and they may have started with just put the tip in. And then voila, she winds up being pregnant. She left him because he was a pussy. He winds up taking charge, getting this position, out of pure luck, and the way shit works out. And then she came back because she wanted the power. She's a power broker, or a power consumer, I should say. She's like a vampire. So I think she's the Yang of Beth.
Okay. The Yang. You said Yang.
Yeah, but Beth is a fucking evil bitch, and I don't think it, If anyone survives this show, let it be her. You know what I mean? Because there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, great acting for sure. But yeah, so that's Yellowstone. We have some spin-offs. The 4/6s are coming.
That's gonna
That'll
be good.
that'll
I
be
think
interesting.
that's where Jimmy's gonna be like the star of the show, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll be one of the leads. He'll probably be like a rip.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have at least in hierarchy.
Yeah.
He'll be the second, and the first will be Taylor, the creator of the show.
Yeah.
Unless they bring in, maybe he's now working for the guy who runs that ranch, who happens to be the father of the girl he's engaged to.
Okay.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But no, he's there's these actors, man. Like when you first saw him, you thought he was a fucking weasel. And within 5 minutes, you're rooting for the kid because he's so nice.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's good to see him go through shit like that. And I think it's also good for the younger generation to see people actually have to fucking fight for what they want to do. And sometimes you got to pay the tax,
Yep. Sure.
It ain't always, it's not about your feelings, no matter what they taught you. It's not. No one cares.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, well, so my weigh in is 220. That's what I'm going with. Rob, what you going with for your weigh in?
I weighed in on Sunday, January 2nd. I weighed in at 248, and this morning I was at 262 or 246 or 246.2.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I'm down like a half pound or whatever, but yeah. But technically it starts Monday for everybody. So, we're not telling you to go join a gym. The shit that I'm gonna do is all gonna be from home. It's all gonna be
what's the
from home.
major plan of attack?
Oh, what I'm gonna be doing.
Besides the sardines and the apple cider vinegar.
So for my cardio, I'm gonna be playing drums 4 to 5 times a week for 90 minutes.
Cool.
I'm up. Last week I played 3 times for 3 hours, and we're at about 2 hours 45. My back started bothering me.
Oh yeah.
So this is what I'm doing for cardio because it keeps my posture good and it gets all the things going, and it uses a different part of your brain
The
that
joint.
you normally think of to create. So it's
Sure.
a different creativity part of the brain opening up.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because I can think differently while playing the drums, and I'm aware of it. Just like when I write and I come to something that I'm like, okay, I'm not sure where to go. I'll go take a nap.
Sure.
And I wake up, I have the answer.
Right.
So basically, I'm doing drums. I'm going to be doing, sit-ups, push-ups, crunches, walking when it's not fucking 20 degrees below zero.
Calisthenics.
Yeah, just shit, normal. And, maybe at some point get into, I've got 25-pound weight, so I'll probably just do endurance.
Oh, okay.
High reps, low weight.
Yeah.
And then, eating better and,
portion control.
Yeah, that's basically most of what it is.
Do you have any other, like, aside from your back, do you have any like health issues?
Yes, I have colitis, ulcerative colitis.
Okay.
So there's certain things I can't do. I can't do garlic, or if I do, I have to be very aware.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's certain things, certain onions, certain like pickles.
Really?
Certain onions. Dude, I could bite into a burger and stop on a fucking onion.
Wow.
But it took me 15 years to work onions back into my diet. So I can do green onions, I can do white onion.
Okay. But you
The
can't.
other onions I have to be wary of.
Okay. I
But
love
yeah,
red
I
onions.
have colitis, and so I used to have GERD, and basically once I cut out all the sauces and stuff, all that went away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like beer. So I switched to bourbon or wine. But yeah, just the beer just bloats. It's bloaty,
Oh yeah.
It's like I'm on the got
And
my
so
period.
many calories in beer.
Yeah. So I
Empty
told Jason,
calories.
like, switch from beer, because that old boy drinks beers from the time he gets home to the time he goes to bed. So
Yeah.
It's kind of like Leon in the Fleshlight.
From the time he gets home to the time he goes to bed.
No, but yeah. So Leon's going to be coming on. We're going to do a series of podcasts on special needs children,
Oh, awesome.
policies, and how, if you're disabled, how you can make things happen in your community and push forward and make a change locally, because
Oh, that's awesome.
everything's local.
Yeah, that's great.
And, yeah. So we're doing some stuff here. We'll have some skits at some point on here. There'll be some other shit happening, some music as well, and we now have our cast of characters. We have our regulars, and
Yep.
hopefully everyone's comfortable with them. I had to ease everyone into it. Not really, but
Not really. No.
yeah. But the audio, starting out on audio, was getting people used to talking on the microphone.
Right.
And then once they're comfortable with that, it didn't matter, because we fall into our natural positions when we're hanging out anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah. And then I got rid of most of it. And I don't know if you watched Saturday, but I got this bullshit. Fucking, what the fuck is that? So yeah, I am totally vain. Okay. So I get like this shit. Look at it. I got this shit here. And this shit from where, because I wear a mask all the time at work.
Oh yeah.
Like you should, if you're asked. And yeah, so it's right. What the fuck? You know what I mean? That ain't right. Yeah. Hey, Mickey, hey, how long I gotta get on the bag? Hey, Rock.
Mythbusters.
Right? Yeah, so there's certain things that have bothered me, but time to get in shape.
Yeah, definitely.
And getting in shape isn't, it's not like anyone's gonna bounce a quarter off my ass, but I figure, getting 20 pounds off, that puts diabetes that way, and then I can work on getting more pounds off after that if I'd like.
Oh sure.
And I'm quitting smoking, I'm getting on the patch, that whole thing. So when I get on the patch, there'll be none of this until like 4 months after.
Oh really?
Yeah, it just makes it easier.
Oh, okay.
Because if I drink, I want to smoke.
Got it. Yeah.
And the only time I really drink is when I'm doing the podcast.
So you're up to 5 podcasts a day?
By noon. No. Yeah. No, and I'm like, oh, should I? Then Rob said he was getting goddamn get a bottle of wine.
Son of a.
I'm like, I'm gonna go get some coffee and wine. But yeah, I ran out of coffee. But yeah, Yellowstone's a great fucking show.
Absolutely.
And
yep.
New Year. I don't know. I've never been a guy to go to the gym. And so, I mean, our whole thing is like, if you can lose 1 to 2 pounds, like we're giving like 6 months. If you want to take 6 months to lose 20 pounds, right on. No one's going to give you shit until the 6-month marker.
So our official weigh-in is going to be Monday, you said?
Yeah, we'll start Monday, just so everyone,
Okay.
Because, you know, Monday sucks, so you might as well give them an extra reason to suck harder. You know? Yeah. But it's not a diet. None of this is a diet.
That's
It's
right.
not a diet for me. It's changing some of the things that I do, because a lot of the things involved are actually I'm not changing much. You know, I'm just changing small things
Yes.
that'll make me feel better and, you know, lose weight, and you don't need all that shit.
And for the record, there's no money involved.
Yeah, exactly. At all. Yeah. 19 things to lose weight. I don't know what happened to the fucking thing. But there's simple things you can do, you know. It's, you know, they say that even if you take a teaspoon in the morning, teaspoon at night of apple cider vinegar, that alone over 12 weeks will lose 5 pounds.
I was going to ask you about that because last night I had taken 2 tablespoons with 8 ounces of water,
That's what I did, yeah.
and I woke up about 1 o'clock with a mild stomach ache.
Oh, then you may want to add more water.
Got it.
Or split that up into 2. Because you're not used to
Right.
ingesting vinegar.
And I was thinking maybe do it every other night for about a week or 2.
And some people put it in like orange juice, not just water.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So you got to figure out the, you know.
Right.
But
yeah, I won't do it tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's good for your skin, you know, because I have, you know, I'm fair skinned, but I have these issues, as you can see, with my skin. And one of the jobs I worked on when I was first out in Hollywood.
You got dragon scale?
Yeah, elephant elbow. Yeah, dragon scale. No, just take it off. Ah.
Well, you need to see a pachydermatologist then.
Yeah, pachydermist. Absolutely. But yeah, so it's good for your skin. It's good for, you know, it's a antioxidant. It has a bunch of different benefits. It helps your metabolism, helps you poop right. You know,
in case you were doing it wrong before.
Right. You know, but like a squatty potty is the way to go.
It really is.
Yeah, you know, if not, just, you know, put this part of your arm right here in your gut and bend over and down the chute it goes. There you go. Push it.
Push it real good.
Yeah. Exactly.
Great. Now I'm going to have that song in my head.
Yeah, speaking of that, so there was something tragic happened, and I was like just pondering. I was like, you know, whatever, you know, because with what's going on now, a lot of people are passing away and getting sick, and you know, there's just a lot of stuff going on. And I'm looking out the window, and you know my history of this song once it gets in my fucking head.
Walking shoes.
I know. I started laughing. Here comes "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls."
Oh boy!
Out of nowhere. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Too late.
And I was fucking dying laughing. Oh my god. There's certain songs that are funny.
I hate that song with a passion.
So do I, because every time it gets in my head, it's 2 fucking weeks.
Yep.
And what made it worse is like when that song came out, there was this art department that I worked with frequently, and they were okay, like they weren't bad people, but they were just annoying, like very annoying. And we would have liquid nitrogen on set all the time.
Mm-hmm.
As part of our stuff. So at the end of when it's over, and if you're not going to use liquid nitrogen for the next 2 weeks, you're not going to keep the tanks. You're going to empty them. There's no reason to keep them.
Yeah.
And they played it over like 12 times in a row, and we're like, fucking stop. So that's how that little nugget of bullshitness came on in my life. But Oh, shout out to Man in the Boat. She's seems to be a little bit on the mend. And if you don't know, you can get this podcast on vaudevilleppress.com and vincentkustush.com. That's VINCENTKUSTUSH.com. We are also on Facebook now. And I just started something on Getter because I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's something opposite of Twitter. Who knows? Whatever. I'm open to everyone listening to me because part of the problem that we have now is people not joining in on conversation. And I want everyone to feel welcome to have such conversation, even if they're batshit crazy or they just believe in things that aren't really true, or they're willing to have the conversation. And so if you're not open to everyone, how can you expect everyone to be open to you? That's my view. But so I don't even know. I haven't even been on the fucking page yet, because you said something that's a bunch of, right-wingy Trumpy people. I think one of the guys used to be on Trump's cabinet or something who started.
Yeah.
I have no idea. All I know is that 2 doctors who were speaking out got canceled on Twitter, and Joe Rogan left Twitter. And for Joe Rogan to leave Twitter, and I know people think he's a righty, but he's not. He just hunts. I don't get it. Whatever. People have their own opinions on him, but
well, they not only do they have their own opinion, they have their own belief system.
Yeah, like freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I believe people should be able to say whatever they want to, because if something's ugly, I want to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want people hiding and saying ugly shit. We're not here to say ugly shit. We're here to bring people together. We're not here to separate and make anything political, because politics is destroying the nation. I think it's just ridiculous. I think everyone needs to relax, smoke a joint. Oh, and I want to dedicate this podcast, by the way, to Mr. Wagner. Visitation is from 5 to 9. Funeral is 11 on Wednesday morning. If you're a friend of Glenn or any of the people who were barn people, check our social media. That'll be posted. Mr. Wagner was way fucking cool. He would let 200 plus juvenile delinquents come and fucking hang out. Dude, I'm like 30, 40-foot bonfires, jumping cars, live bands, keg parties. Dude, all types of fucking shenanigans. People fucking tripping their balls off. Everyone's face melting. He's making cookies for the girls. Dude, this guy was so nice. He talked like this, and I was going down to the station one day, and then next thing you know, I wound up being signed up for the Army, and then I was in the Merchant Marines traveling down, and I was on this boat, and I had to feed 30 people 3 times a day, and that's when I met my wife's cousin, who introduced me to my wife, and he would just go on to these tangents, but it was fucking great. Anyone who knows great old people, their stories are phenomenal, because it's in a world that no longer exists.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He was also part of the Friday morning breakfast club that we had for a few years, where we'd all go out to breakfast. And Lori, who was also part of the breakfast club, just lost her daughter 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And, so we lost Mr. Wagner, and Mr. Wagner was a staple. I'm not sad that he has passed away. He was 90-some years old. He lived a life.
Wow.
And he was well loved, well respected. And, it's sad when someone's 30 and they pass away. When someone's in their 90s, it's sad for the people involved, but it's not sad because they got to live. And he lived.
Was he vaxxed?
Oh, man. You saw the post, right? Yeah. Here's something for people to fucking do. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go full on Vince on this one. Okay, if someone fucking dies and they're not related to you, don't fucking go around. Oh, are they fucking vaccinated? Oh, hey, have you fucked yourself today? because that's a bullshit fucking level to come from. And you're nothing but a cocksucking motherfucker if you think you can shame someone from their fucking parent dying over some fucking medical procedure that you didn't even know about fucking 2 years ago. You know what? We can't ask you to have cancer, but you know what? If you ask these people if they have died, I hope you die of ass cancer. That's fucking bullshit. Keep your bullshit to yourself, because you know what? Those conspiracy theorists that you talk about, that you fucking shame, you're worse than them.
Amen,
Fuck
brother.
off. Jesus Christ.
I'm with you.
I don't get it, man.
Me either.
Oh, are they?
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, and when Ray died, you know, one guy was like, I'm like, dude, his heart stopped. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
If I want to tell you, because I fucking hate this guy, I'm like, if I wanted to tell you how he died, I would have.
Right.
It's none of your fucking business.
Right.
But you knew my brother, and I thought you should know.
Right.
And then people go way beyond that. And now we have all these people who've preached anti-bullying policies for 30 years, are the biggest fucking bullies
Yeah. No
on the
shit.
fucking planet.
Mm-hmm.
And they think you should do everything that they want. They want to know everything about you, and you should tell them. No, we shouldn't. It's a thing called privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's none of your business. And your overinflated anxiety is not our problem. You need to handle that shit on your own. Get some help. Therapy's out there. It's a great thing. Helps a lot of people. But don't put your anxiety on the other people. That's
Amen, brother.
That's my speech, because it seems like we have to placate, or people want us to placate to a bunch of people who have anxiety issues. Not going to do it.
Absolutely.
Not going to fucking do it. And people who are dealing with people who have just passed away and their family shouldn't have to answer those stupid questions because they want to be nice.
That's right.
But will Vince step up and be the asshole for him? You betcha. That's my job. I stick up for my friends. But yeah. So well, what do you think, Rob? We're at 2 hours and 37. We good?
All right. I think so.
All righty. I'll give you a buzz afterwards and talk about the show, you know.
Sounds good.
But the dude, that's gonna be funny if people like start walking up to us. Hey, yes, yeah.
I'm just waving at you.
Yeah. What's up, dude? Got my mask on. I got my. How you doing? The new greetings for men in their 50s. What's up? Totally. Oh my God, that's great. All right, brother. Love you, man.
Love you, man.
Thanks everybody for coming in episode 130 and Creativity Talking, our second live stream. There'll be more to come. And come along, lose some weight with us. 1 to 2 pounds a week. It's not some big ordeal. We just want everyone to be around longer to listen to our jokes. And you know, it's okay. We want you to be around for your grandkids. And I want to be around for mine. I know that much. So all right, buddy. Love you, brother.
Love you, man.
We'll see you soon. And here's the fancy outro. VaudevillePress.com. Creativity Talking. Later, people.
Awesome.